What up, G.A.M.R fam?
What is
back.
up?
Yo.
What episode are we on? 500?
At least.
Depending on
maybe.
if we actually have a good recording or not, and if it actually gets posted, Mark.
Ooh.
Inside jokes, outside world.
Yeah, it's all good. So there may or may not have been a time that I recorded a full, what was it, hour-long episode, and I didn't record.
Yeah, there's a lost episode out there already.
Lost episode. We're on episode 3. There's already a lost one.
Why?
It's a damn good question. I don't know why you gave him that soundboard piece.
Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Yes. As always,
We appreciate
Jeffrey.
everybody.
Jeffrey,
Oh,
Anthony,
sorry.
Mark here. Hopefully bringing you some subpar content.
Subpar.
Mediocre jokes.
It's at least par.
Subpar.
Yeah, it's
Subpar,
at least
par.
at least
Par?
ace in the hole.
All right, breakfast
it's
ball.
so-
breakfast
it's a
ball
little-
content. We'll do
Little
that.
subpar.
How about that? Hey, boys. You know, I was wondering.
Men.
I got this burning
I'll
question
accept
in my
boys.
brain right now.
Oh, I'm so glad you said question after burning. I was real concerned for you.
All right, think about this. If peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called?
Brown paste.
That does not make me want to put it on sandwiches.
He doesn't want to make you put in your body.
Smashed nuts.
Smash nuts.
Now, see, I could get behind something like that.
I bet you could.
Anthony
You could
loves a
get
good
right in front of some smash nuts.
Right on my toast. Put that smashed nuts right on my toast.
Let's use all the soundboards within the first 2 minutes.
Get it. Let's
And
get
then
it.
we'll forget about him 20 minutes in, and then we'll bring him back at the end.
Don't worry, Grandma's asleep this episode, so she's not going to be angry on how we end this one.
So upset you
So-
didn't let me talk to Grandma.
I'm upset that Wade made a comment
Same.
and said that everybody misses Grandma. That's concerning on the YouTube, on the G.A.M.R podcast YouTube channel. Plug.
Hint, hint.
I'm still pissed about the Chiefs, Anthony. I'm just going to straight say it. We're going to jump into it right now. I'm really upset about the Chiefs.
I'm too.
Be upset.
But I'm
too.
also not unimpressed. Like,
They
I
did
knew-
well.
I expected it, like in our messages, and I was like, man, a minute 45 or what it was, is too much time. And then when I think I said it, where I was like, I still think 13 seconds is too much time.
You did,
And
and then
like-
I said it to some other people too. Like in that time that I was texting you guys, I was texting other guys too, and I was like, man, 13 seconds. They've got 3 timeouts. Why are they playing prevent defense? It's like Vikings 101. Like, let's back off, give them the whole field.
The middle of
guess
the
what
field was wide
happens?
open on that Kelsey catch too.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
wide the fuck open.
Okay, Tyreek Hill, one of the fastest guys in the NFL. You're gonna give
Ever
him
in the
wide
world.
open plus 15 yards. Like that was an easy play for them. Travis Kelsey again. I mean, not as fast, but still huge guy. Like he's gonna make those plays and he's gonna get those yards. I mean, it's 3 timeouts. Like the whole
Well-
field is in play.
But why
you
kick,
saw
the
he
ball out of the end zone with 13 seconds left? Why not keep it at least like, so not squib it so that they're getting it at like the 30 or whatever, but close to the end zone? I mean, he's a kicker. He's a professional. He can put it where he wants it. But I feel like put it
the ball
down
in play.
right before the goal line. They're going to
Make them
use
burn
up
a
some
little bit
time,
of time,
or they're
yeah.
going to run up and kneel it or whatever and get to the 25.
Still takes
No
some
different,
time off the
but
clock.
it still
though.
takes some, yeah. Because
No,
That's a
you
$1
take
million question, isn't it? I think, well, and you think about it, though, too. They've had some kicker issues. Oh, missing field goals. If he messes up and he ends up hitting one of the front line guys or even the second line down at the, like,
But that's what I'm saying. Don't
30,
squib it. Just
and
kick
all of
it.
a sudden they got the ball at the 40. Or if he messes up the squib and now the ball goes out of bounds, they're at the 40.
Kick it down
I
the
think
middle of the field.
I think
Did it really
Based on-
change the outcome though? Like would they have I mean, hindsight is
If anything, if they
2020,
gave
but
him
at
more
the
time,
same
they would've
time,
been- yeah.
it's you got
True.
13 seconds, 3 timeouts. I mean, that's you can't back off the play. That's the thing that confused me. Like, yeah, maybe, and they shouldn't have been rushing 4. Put 2, rush 2,
Yeah.
and put the others back in
they're
coverage.
actually saying
At one point they rushed 5, I'm pretty sure.
Why?
They should have brought an extra rusher and then pressed both Kelsey and Hill.
But based on your comments on the episode 2 about the Chiefs' weapons, if you put more people up there against Mahomes, that just means there's less people. Like, it was a linebacker trying to keep up with Tyreek Hill down the middle of the field at the end.
Look at what Hardman did, in the overtime play. Yeah. He shredded them. He was wide open because they're so focused on the left side of the field.
Even the DBs aren't going to be able to keep up with Tyreek Hill. Like, why would you put a linebacker on Tyreek Hill? Right. Like, that's...
but it wasn't even... I'm not sure. I don't know defenses that well, so I could be completely wrong here. I don't know if that was man, but it seemed like a little bit of zone mixed with something else. And that's why the linebacker was there, because that linebacker should have been with Kelsey, I feel like, because Kelsey isn't going to go as deep. Granted, on the play or two before or whatever, he's just... and he gets 15 yards. That really, outside of the Bills kicker missing the field goal during regulation, before the 13 lead changes in the last 2 minutes of the game, exaggeration. The only
it was at least 10 though.
Right. The real thing that should have been different and would have changed the game is if he called heads instead of tails.
Yep.
Josh Allen being he,
and I think
can't go wrong with a little head.
They need to adapt a similar approach to college, right? Where each team now this is kind of my take on it. I like
the way it is because it's more intense for me.
Get rid of the coin toss altogether. Home team gets the ball first. However, both teams are guaranteed at least one possession. Right? You start out at your own 25, just like a touchback. You play out the time though. So if it's a 15-minute overtime period, each team starts out that way. Home team gets the ball first. Yeah, visiting team gets a chance to come back and score, and then they just play out the rest of the clock. Or after those 2 possessions, then you play a sudden death.
I would say still no sudden death. So I see...
Or win by touchdown or whatever.
I was kind of confused on how the ref explained it at the coin toss. Because he
started a game.
Right. So, like he said, if you score a touchdown, the first team that gets the ball, if they score a touchdown, game's over. But then after that, he said, we're going to play until we have a winner, which I sure as hell hope so.
Meaning it can't end in a tie. So say none of them score a touchdown.
Yeah, but why is he saying that?
I knew that answer.
He doesn't even need to say that. That's what Jeffrey's saying. Like,
right.
Obviously,
for redundancy's sake.
In the playoffs, we know that he's not going to be... Yeah, we're not.
Right, but so what I was getting at, though, is that if the Chiefs don't score a touchdown and they score a field goal, and then the Bills come down and they score a touchdown, is that the end of the game? Because he said we're going to play until time runs out. Because that's the way it looked on the screen. I was kind of upset. My eyes might have been glossed over at what was going on. So
they would continue. So say that it's a tied game at the end of regular or end of overtime. They go.
That's not my question. My question is, if the Chiefs scored a field goal and then the Bills got the ball and scored a touchdown, is that the end of the game? Yes. Or do they play until the end? Do they play until time runs out? My assumption was
play the whole clock.
My assumption was that if the Bills scored a touchdown after the Chiefs would score a field goal, then the Bills win the game.
I think that's how it is. In fact,
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up.
That's how it is.
Are you talking about current rules or what we're saying the rules
playoff
should
rules,
be?
Not regular season.
Playoff rules is that a touchdown. So a touchdown ends the game.
But when they showed it on the screen, it said the first touch. If the first team to possess the ball scores a touchdown, ends the game, and then after that, it said play until time runs out. I'm pretty sure. Again, my eyes were kind of upset at what was going on, so I could have read it wrong.
I could be wrong, but as far as I know, a touchdown ends the game.
Right.
Field goal, and then come back and get a field goal the other way. Then it would go until the next team scores. But
so I found the rules already in the time that we're talking. So
I was talking to a buddy
overtime rules for NFL.
Think about this for a second. Talking to a buddy at work. You brought up a good point. Why don't we do what the XFL did? You don't flip a coin. Put the ball at the 50, and 2 of your fastest guys go and try and grab the ball first. They get possession.
No, fuck Tyreek Hill. Get out of here.
Do that.
No.
That'd be great.
No. Okay.
Can I read the rules for
alternate reality? For alternate reality. Hold on. We take the head coaches and we put them, and they have to go run for the ball. Fuck the players. Head coaches go and run for the ball. Let's see who really wants to dig deep and get that win for their team.
That would be intense. Can you imagine Andy Reid out there running 40 yards trying to get a damn ball?
Just lit. And then the team can be on him about, hey, coach, why weren't you doing those sprints in practice? Well, I didn't want to win, so fuck you all.
Yeah, I feel that. So it says the overtime rules for NFL postseason games are different than regular season, of course. Yeah. So it says if the score is still tied at the end of an overtime period, or if the second team's initial possession has not ended, the teams will play another overtime period. The play will continue regardless of how many overtime periods are needed for a winner to be determined. There will be a 2-minute intermission between each overtime period. There will not be an overtime intermission. The captain who lost the first overtime coin toss will either choose to possess the ball or select which goal his team will defend, unless the team that won the coin toss deferred that choice. Each team gets 3 timeouts during half. The same timing rules that apply at the end of the second and fourth regulation periods also apply. If there is still no winner at the end of a fourth overtime period, there will be another coin toss and play will continue until a winner is declared. It doesn't even mention the first possession scoring a touchdown or a field goal. That's what it is. This is operationsfootball.nfl.com. Okay. I'm still confused.
As are we all. All I know is I feel for the Bills and their fans, because I went through the same thing in 2018 when the Patriots did it to us. AFC Championship game, overtime, Mahomes never got to touch the ball. Same thing. So I know exactly what they're feeling, what they're going through. Like it sucks. And I do think that the rules need to be changed. They need to update it so it's more competitive.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's less competitive. It's just for teams like the Chiefs. I mean, if the Bills had the ball, if the Bills had the ball instead of the Chiefs, they could have went down and scored. They have obviously in the last 2 minutes.
Our defense wasn't stopping a warm breeze.
You contributed to them. You didn't do shit.
I was out there. And then, you just see Josh Allen.
He was probably
hanging out on the sideline.
He was getting so pumped, and then his defense let him down.
That's
emotional damage.
Use it on every episode.
That's just it, though. Like, you want to see those high-powered offenses. You get a chance to win those games, and taking that ball out of Josh Allen's hands there in overtime. I mean, it's hard for him. It's hard for the fans. It's hard for everybody involved in that game. I mean, I don't think anybody who watched that game would feel any differently. I mean, except for some of those Chiefs fans that were like, "Yeah, fuck that guy." But I mean, it's
Speaking of, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, speaking of fuck that guy, I'm so glad Tom Brady lost. Anyway, you were saying?
Yes, I am too. No, it's hard to see a guy who's got so much passion for his team and went out and just played like mad, not even get a chance in overtime to come out there and prove what he's done and show.
I think it shows
at the same.
I think their defense got tired of running up and down the field.
Oh, you could tell that people were dogging it out there. Like everybody, they were struggling.
I don't want to give Anthony the pleasure of us talking about the Chiefs winning the whole time. So we're going to move on to a different game, and the Packers and the 49ers. I've never been more happy to be wrong about a prediction than to see the 49ers win. That was so exciting. Same.
I want to say one thing, though. I did say that Dylan would be the key.
Yeah.
I did say that. Guess who went out injured? They couldn't put the ball in his hands. They lost. I still stand by the fact that I think that Dylan was the key to success, and he didn't get that chance because he got hurt. And I think that if he had been in there, it might have been a different.
Fucking dropped the ball. That guy was.
He did.
That guy was a lame duck.
No.
He wasn't making passes.
Teams,
he had open guys.
the defense for San Francisco, though, was putting pressure on him, though, which is exactly what the Rams are doing against Tom Brady. And that's the way you stop those 2-12 quarterbacks. Like, that's the only way that you're going to get them to cause their own problems is to put pressure on them. And so, like, Mark, when you sent that text message about that tweet about Rodgers walking out and being upset about his teammates, and then, like, when I watched the post-game interview, I didn't get that vibe.
Yeah, no, and
so,
see, like I said,
I think that's just somebody starting drama.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, like, I'm curious now then, because of those two games, what happens in the next couple months, like by free agency, of what Brady's going to do and what Rodgers is going to do. Like I saw today that Rodgers said he's going to wait out to see what they do with Adams because he doesn't want to get in the middle of their money type of thing.
Here's how I see it.
He doesn't want to be part of a rebuild, and I agree with that. He's at the stage of his career where he wants to win. Wants to be a
but there are teams he could go to that aren't a rebuild, and it's just they need a quarterback.
Exactly, and I think he's gonna. I think this was his last season in Green Bay. I really do.
You don't think it's his last season at all? Like all around, like he's not going to play again?
I don't. No. I don't because he doesn't want to end like that. He's got too much pride and too big of an ego to go out the way he did. He will not be remembered in that fashion. I don't think.
I'm going to say here first that he's not going to win another Super Bowl in his career, regardless of where he goes. So for me, I don't think playing another year is going to make his status as a career more or less, because I don't see him winning a championship.
Go ahead. How many years do you think he got left?
If he were to play one more year, I think he's got maybe 3 years.
Okay.
Before he gets annoyed that he's not winning. Like, this is the same thing that happened last year, a week early. You're the best team on the NFC. You get to a team that you should technically beat, and then you don't. You underperform. And so, like, for me though, I don't see it as it was a Rodgers underperforming. I see it as a team as a whole, because the Packers defense wasn't really doing anything. They weren't doing
anything spectacular.
I mean, it's a low-scoring game for sure, but like, it's still
their D was doing a lot more than So there could be, the way I see it, there was two factors in this game. There was special teams, which is obviously one of the biggest ones, because they had a blocked kick and a blocked punt, which arguably is the game winner right there, that blocked punt. However, Aaron Rodgers, the caliber of player he is, you expect him to go out and throw more than whatever it was, 100-something odd yards or whatever it was, and 0 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't put that caliber of quarterback in that position and be like, oh yeah, if he doesn't throw a single touchdown, they're still going to win.
Well, what was the score when they played earlier in the year? Because, I mean, was it as low scoring? Because, I mean, this was 13-10.
I don't think so. I want to say, what was it?
I'm looking it up right now as I ask.
Okay, so. I was going to say, I think the Niners won pretty handily, didn't they? And it was...
No, the Packers won on a field goal. Because they gave Rodgers like 30 seconds or like 40 seconds left on the clock after the Niners scored their last touchdown or had their last score. And then everyone was like, you're going to leave that much time for Aaron Rodgers. And they drove down the field, got a field goal, and then the Packers won.
Oh.
But let's see. Niners, Packers.
Well, while you're looking that up, I just want to say that Aaron Rodgers, though, I don't see him staying with Green Bay if Davante Adams leaves. So if they can't make that contract work, I don't think that Aaron Rodgers sticks around there. I think that he'll go, and kind of reverse token there too. Like, if Aaron Rodgers leaves, I don't think Adams stays. If Adams leaves, I don't think Rodgers stays. So if one of them goes, they're both going to go. They don't. I've heard that Adams doesn't want to play without Rodgers, and Rodgers doesn't want to be part of a rebuild. And if they lose Adams, he's going to be part of a rebuild, because who else do they have at wide receiver?
Yeah,
Lazard couldn't do it.
I
MVS couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have anybody. Their best receiver outside of Adams is Jones.
Right.
And that's kind of sad.
Right.
I
Exactly.
did see that they might franchise tag him in order to
Who's that?
keep Adams, in order to have Rodgers stay. Also, real quick, the Packers won 30-28. So the Packers
I thought it was a
were winning at
30-something
halftime,
score.
17-7, and then the 49ers came back to take the lead basically at the end of the game for then Rodgers to drive him down the field and get a field goal. That's it.
Yeah, that's too bad.
But
Ultimately, I don't see Rodgers staying in Green Bay. I don't see it. I don't see him working anything out. I think they're going to cut their losses, make some cap space, and start.
I think this
Love and get some skill players from the draft.
So I want to put this out there. I just saw that Ben Kurt had been re-signed by the Packers too. I don't know if you guys are aware of who he is. He's their third string quarterback, but he's somebody who I absolutely love to follow. He's big in the gaming space as well. He's a really cool dude. Follow him on Twitter, Ben Kurt. He's he got re-signed. He was on the practice squad for a while, and then was it when Love had COVID or was hurt or something like that?
They called him up.
They pulled him in, and actually Rodgers gave him the opportunity to take the victory snaps in one of the games, and so it was his first time dressing for an NFL game. He's been in the league for like 3 years or something like that. So it was
nice.
Really cool stuff. Really cool stuff.
Speaking of not being in the league for very long, I can't wait for Burrow to kick the Chiefs' ass this weekend.
Oh God,
Cannot
I'm hoping so.
Wait.
I'm really hoping so.
I think it's gonna be a good game.
Freaking beast.
Subscribe.
G.A.M.R. Chase is just.
I will send you
studly.
to Jesus.
I will say this before you
Please
send me
do.
to Jesus, that I've never seen a hooker grab ball so fast than when Hooker got that interception. That definitely did not touch the ground, Mark. It may touch a blade of grass. It did not touch the ground. Bro, the ball didn't even move. Say it. Say what you want to say. The ball didn't touch the ground. It didn't. Even if it did, if you think it did, I don't think it did. But if you think it did not help him catch the ball.
Watch the play, dude.
Also,
the ball is like dragging across the grass as he's picking it up. I understand the ball.
He had his hands on it before it even went to the ground.
Negative, sir. Negative.
Positive.
It's almost
HIV
simultaneous, and then he hits it against the ground, and
the ball doesn't move, so it's allowed to hit the ground. As long as the ball doesn't go.
You can't take the ball off the ground, dude. Okay. From now on, quarterback spikes, spiking the ball to clock it. You can now pick that ball up and then run it into the end zone. No, that's an interception.
You can try to catch it if they.
No, you can intercept it off the grass because you can now pick them off the grass and it's still good.
No.
Well, now he's just being facetious.
Full on caught it.
Say that damn word.
I can't wait. For our only commenter on our YouTube videos is Wade. I can't wait for Wade to make a comment about how you're full of shit. But I'm at the end of the day, I'm glad the Bengals won because that's who I wanted to win. But that was a really fun game to watch. This whole weekend was really great for football.
Good games, and very good games.
The playoffs are built different, and it felt awesome, except for the last game.
Best football I've ever had the pleasure of watching.
Wanted to throw up at the end.
Yeah, well, that would come from a Denver
I can't believe I stayed up for that.
Yeah, say quieter so nobody hears you.
I can't believe I stayed up for that. I wanted so badly for Josh Allen to just take him down, and then 13 seconds left, and they just.
We haven't talked enough about the Bucks and the Rams because that was a fun game to watch too. I thought about how that was going to happen at the end. I was like, I wonder if he's going to try to hit Cup down the middle.
Brady is dead to me.
But before that, my favorite part about the whole game was when did you guys watch the whole game? Did you guys watch the game?
I mean, I watched as much as I could while dealing with the kids and stuff, but
that's no excuse. Did you see? Did you see when Sue was about to sack Stafford? Stafford threw it, but then he still tackles him, rolls up, and his leg goes up into his crotch area.
Yeah. And he gets up and
then
points
he's
at him.
Get your fucking foot out of here, buddy. He didn't say that. He probably said something else. And then Stafford's like,
probably
what's going on,
exactly
man?
that.
What's the haps, bro? We were teammates one time, man. And then the rest threw a flag on it. And I love that Tom Brady got a penalty for unnecessary or unsportsmanlike conduct.
No, that was they said it was his first ever in his career. Is that what it was, or something like that? I was like, what? Dude, I didn't even see what happened. So, but like, what was it?
Von Miller goes to tackle him. Brady throws the ball like a quarterback would. Crazy thing. And then he like grabs him, but his helmet, top of his head, hits like Brady's chin area. So Brady bit his lip.
Oh yeah, that's when he busts his
he bites his lip. Yeah. So like he's got blood there. They don't wipe the blood away because he's wearing white gloves. He's got to make it look pretty the whole time. He doesn't want to get blood on his gloves. So he wears the blood the whole rest of the drive, complains to the ref, gets the penalty, still complaining to the ref after each play. And then when they finally wipe the blood away, you look at it, and I swear that thing was like so small on his lip that like, bro, relax. I'm just trying to stop saying bro.
The fact that he forgot to put chapstick on before the game, and his lips were just chapped, and they kind of split a little bit. You know,
I mean, it was for sure he bit his lip, but I understand your joke. But I just thought it was great.
If he was drinking more water, there's also a something that I'd heard about him in the past where he had said something, and maybe I'm wrong on this, maybe it's not a real quote, but Tom Brady had said that you can't get sunburned if you drink enough water. You just drink more water and you won't get sunburned.
He cured skin cancer by saying that. You didn't hear that on the news either, but like if you once you drink all the water, you get no skin cancer. Look it up. That's a lie. Don't look that up. Don't fact check that.
Wow, that sounds legit.
Found on tb12.com.
But I'm excited for this week's round of playoff games.
It'll be interesting.
It'll be really interesting. Before we started this, I'm glad Duke won tonight. I know you guys weren't watching the game, but Duke beat Clemson in a little bit of a nail biter today. That was a lot of fun to watch. I can't wait for us to be able to talk about more things about sports, because this isn't football games in life, everyone out there. This is sports games in life. However, after football, there's the Olympics, so we'll probably touch base on some of that. I just have to watch it in order to talk about it.
I was going to say there's football, then there's time without football, and
there's never really actually time without football. It's just business part of football. So we got games, and then we got money transactions, and then we got the draft.
Some people say they can't believe Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. We got the one Anthony and the one Jeffrey.
All right.
Yeah.
Jeffrey.
Did you guys play Huh? Did you guys play any Extraction? I know you guys. I know I meant more of what we played the other night, because I know we all kind of like talked about it and played a little bit after that last episode.
Yeah, I was actually just kind of listening to some of the stuff that we had touched on previously, and yeah, I kind of, the more I've delved into it, like I think that game could have just been a DLC. Like it feels like it should have been a DLC. Having talked to some of the people that I know that do have Game Pass and then don't have Game Pass, like it fits right in that Game Pass title. It feels like a DLC. However, it's very good. It's very good. I like the way they took that limited time event and they really fleshed it out, and it's really good.
Anthony, it's less intense when you go through the tutorials and you actually learn what you're supposed to do in the game, because when you're going through and you see all the nests on the wall, what are you supposed to do with those? It's definitely not shoot them.
Lick it.
You got to stick them. You got to stick them, and then you extract data from it, and then you can shoot it.
Just walk up.
You're over here shooting things
melee the shit out of it.
Just that's a weird sounding gun. But you're supposed to not do that, because there's always creatures around it, and if you do that, Mark's gone. He left the podcast because of your joke. That then when you do that, the creatures are going to know you're there, and you're supposed to not be so guns a-blazing. It talks about trying to maybe be a little bit more stealthy about it. Yeah.
Anthony's never been good.
I learned
at that
by doing
stealthy style.
I hate tutorials.
You learn by doing the wrong thing, and then once you don't want to play the game anymore, that's when you get good at it.
Hey, when I figure it out, then it's okay. But until then, I'm going to be like, why isn't this working? What am I supposed to do here? And then you guys are supposed to bail me out like champions.
No, we're teammates.
Hey, I played the game. Here's what you do. If you took the 5 minutes to play the tutorial, you'd know how to fucking play the game.
You don't even got to play the tutorial. Just read it. It's not even going to take you 5 minutes. I know we talked about in the last episode about reading. Okay.
Why? Why? Why?
Because then we don't have to explain it to you in more time than it would have taken to just read it or play it. That's why.
I just like listening to you explain it to me.
I did play some at Death's Door as well.
I have not played that yet, though.
I haven't either.
Did it fall kind of when I had mentioned it? It's like an old Zelda type game. Is that kind of touch on that,
I could feel that about it.
Okay.
Real quick, you guys see this thing up here trying to signal in the boats from the harbor over here or something? What the hell?
I thought that was just an extension from like last week. You were wearing the NASA stuff. I thought it was we were trying to phone home or something.
Trying to get the aliens to come pick me up.
It's very distracting.
I don't know. It is. I think it's messing up my focus of the camera.
It's like some weird strobe light going on in the background.
What is a non-weird strobe light? Exactly. You don't have a comment.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm busy seizing over here.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Speaking of other games that are interesting, did you see The Rock like commented in an article? I saw IGN posted about it today about The Rock is like making a movie. Sorry, Dwayne Johnson is making a movie about a video game in regards to a video game, but he hasn't told anybody what the game is. And I was reading through a lot of the fans' comments, and a lot of them, it could be a joke, it could not be a joke, but a lot of them are saying Gears of War, Call of Duty, and then Duke Nukem.
So, okay, let me get this straight. He's making a movie based off of a game?
Correct.
Ew. I
can pull it up. Okay. I might have said it weird before we talked about it, but I'll read it directly. So he says, I can't tell you which game in particular we're doing, but here will be an announcement this year. We're going to bring one of the biggest, most badass games to the screen, one that I've played for years. I'm really excited to bring it to fans around the world. Of course, we're going to do right by our gamer friends, but really, we're just going to make a great movie. And a lot of the comments, too, are making jokes about, all right, guys, what game is based in the jungle? Because of how his last, 5 movies have been him in the jungle.
In a jungle. Yeah. Oh, God.
But so, I'm curious, so if it was Gears, how would you feel about that? How would you feel about that?
I don't know who he would play in that game, movie, whatever.
Some people were saying, he could be Phoenix, and everyone was like, no.
No, he's not a good Phoenix.
Some people have even said God of War. The one that was interesting to me was the Call of Duty comment.
That one could work.
God of War.
Oh. I don't see him being a Kratos.
He's gonna walk around, boy.
He's because it's going to be something that they're going to try and throw some comedy in because he's that guy, right?
All the games have comedy at some point, so it's not uncommon. But yeah,
true. But he's more action / comedy heavy lately. I don't
only with Kevin Hart. So does that mean Kevin Hart's going to be in the movie? You think?
Yes, he's going to. Is he going
to be like the voice?
He's going to play Little Coltrane.
So in the comments, somebody was like, "All right, The Rock can play." Dave Bautista played Phoenix, and then The Rock plays Coltrane. And they mentioned some other people that I didn't recognize their names. But what if somebody else made a comment and said Banjo-Kazooie? So what if it was him and Kevin Hart doing Banjo-Kazooie?
Kevin Hart just riding around in a backpack.
Jesus Christ, dude, that would be great. That sounds amazing. Maybe it's a new Mario
I don't even care
game.
if it's real. I want a smooth episode.
Don't talk about Mario. Chris Pratt. Somebody made a comment that he's going to be Luigi.
Yes, exactly.
So he was in a video game movie before, which was Doom.
Ooh.
The Rock.
Oh yeah,
doomed.
Yeah, that was
maybe
bad.
maybe
it's a remake, but I feel like I'm curious on what it could be, and I don't know. We don't know when we're going to hear about it, but I think it's going to.
A game he said that he's played forever
for years. He didn't say forever. He's played for years. So I'm curious on what it's going to be.
Interesting. I don't know. I mean, they could go a lot of different ways with that, I guess, but
right. And it depends too. I feel like it's got to be something super actiony and aggressive. Of course, that's because it's Dwayne The Rock, but
he's friggin' huge, man. Yeah.
But I don't know if it's him. If he's starring in the movie.
Or
I would assume so.
Cameo?
He's one of the, or if he's like just producing it or stuff like that, or you know what I mean. But I feel like he's going to star in it because he's going to get all the money that he can, because he's like one of the highest paid actors out there right now, because his people will go see his movies. I mean, I go see him, so like they're entertaining for what they are.
Didn't he say he's done with the Fast and Furious at this point too? Like
so like yeah, because Vin Diesel was like, he posted on Instagram, was like, hey brother, you got to come back, we're family, and he kind of like talked about like what Paul Walker would have wanted, and that's, you got to come back in for Fast and Furious 29.
Yeah, I don't think the pacifier sold
Fast and Furious 10. But then like The Rock was like, I gotta stop calling him The Rock because he's not The Rock. But I don't mind any of the Fast and Furious movies, because the best one is Tokyo Drift. Anyway, so Dwayne Johnson was like, I don't like
white guy.
There's white guys in all of them. What are you talking about? It starts with Paul Walker. It's the whitest of the white guys.
I don't know, that white guy in Tokyo Drift though. I mean, he's a southerner.
Lucas Black. Don't talk bad about Lucas Black.
Man.
He's from Friday Night Lights. He's in other things that nobody knows. But
yes.
I only watched that movie for Bow Wow. Sorry.
Well, he's got the Hulk vehicle, so of course.
Yeah. No, it's not Bow Wow. You gotta watch for Ludacris and Tyrese, and
he's talking about Tokyo Drift.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Way to stay with it there, Mark.
But yeah, so,
I'm talking about the series as a whole.
The Rock was like, I don't like the way Vin Diesel did that and put it out on the internet instead of like coming to me first, or like talking to me like a man and all this stuff. And he's like, I wish them all the best of luck. I wish them all the success, but I'm done with the Fast and Furious world. If you ever,
you don't think he makes another Hobbs and Shaw?
He kind of mentioned that. I don't really remember what he said, but it was basically the gist of, I'm not coming back to the Fast and Furious world. Right. And so there's really not a need for them to make a Hobbs and Shaw 2, other than just things that don't make sense. There's not a need for them to make another Fast and Furious.
I have the movie, and I could be completely off base, but it just kind of like popped in my head.
For the
what
game?
What if it's Grand Theft Auto?
Okay.
What if they make a Grand Theft Auto
that would be interesting.
That would be Fast and Furious.
But game.
Wow.
All right.
I'm just saying, it could be Grand Theft Auto. I mean,
this will be old news and old things that people have already said. But like, I love how Fast and Furious is a remake of Point Break. Just a different actors, different kind of plot, but same plot and different materials. But then also it went from let's steal box TVs and DVD players to we're superheroes saving the world. It's entertaining to watch on screen, but the transition from one to the other isn't really a make sense type of story.
I'm a little upset that you used Point Break to compare there. There's nothing that lives up to Point Break
with Keanu and the first Fast and Furious movie.
Hold up. I'll hold you right there. You Keanu.
Same exact movie.
Keanu.
They're the same exact movie though. I'm not talking about the people that are in it. The story of it, the plot are the same exact thing.
Yeah. Okay. Keanu.
Patrick Swayze is what you should have said.
Oh yeah.
But
his name is
I'm curious,
Keanu.
Mark, if that's what it's going to be. If it will be Grand Theft Auto, because I feel like that movie, if it was that, would have to be 100% rated R. And I don't know if that's what he'll do, because he hasn't really done a lot of rated R stuff.
I think he would, because it fits into, they could do so much comedy over that too. Like he just blowing shit up, stealing vehicles, like just capping a pedestrian and like
a free guy. So it sounds like free guy.
Essentially free guy, but less of the
it was a great
more
movie.
Sex and violence.
Well, no, less of that, like breaking down that fourth wall. Yeah. So I could see it being something similar to that, but not having that aspect of it. So
yeah, I get that. I don't know. I'm curious. Curious to see what happens.
Yeah.
You see, they're making, or they announced they're going to make 3 new Star Wars games.
I did not.
Like together as in a trilogy, or 3
No,
separate?
no. Three separate games. They haven't really said anything other that is released like 12 hours ago. EA released it. So they're going to work on the Fallen Order sequel. And then one of the other ones they did confirm was
from Respawn.
An FPS. They're gonna make a new FPS.
It better not be Battlefront 3.
Based off of their post on the Instagrams, it says, "We're excited to announce 3 new Star Wars games officially in the works from Respawn. Read more and pass on what you've learned. Are already at work on the next Star Wars Jedi game and a new FPS helmed by game director Peter Hirschman." I'm not sure if I said that right. So interesting. I wonder.
The third one is a strategy based game, so I wonder if it's going to be like an RTS or what they're going to do with that one. I can see them doing that.
I would like it to be more like we've
lightsaber battles.
We've touched on this genre a little bit in the past episode or two. XCOM. I would like to see an XCOM styled Star Wars game. Have you guys played Gears Tactics at all?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would like to see a Star Wars version.
And takes a microphone to the face. Gears Tactics. Hell yes.
It'll excited over here.
I played that.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative. No, it's not. It gets the people
going. I played a little bit on PC when I first got my PC, and then I think that was one of the games I tried to play on my phone with the Razer controller, and I was like, fuck it. But no, it was fun.
No,
I kind of want a game in the Star Wars world. Fucking Christ.
Say that 3 times fast.
But like not about Jedis or Sith. About Jedi or Sith. Kind of like a Han Solo type character.
How about this one?
Not full on copycat.
You play a child, and they're in the temple, and then the game ends.
But make it VR for PlayStation.
And all you hear is end scene.
Master Skywalker, what are we going to do?
Your screen just flinches a little bit, and then that's
My screen unfocuses from my camera.
Haptic feedback. You have to wear one of those vests and stuff, and it's like,
oh god.
You wake up all, never mind. No, well,
yeah.
I'm curious what they're gonna do with it. That sounds like fun though. I mean, I'm all for it. I actually just reinstalled. I can't speak on this episode. This episode is gonna be called the things that Jeffrey couldn't say. I reinstalled Squadrons the other day.
I have not yet installed that, and I want to. I need to.
It's fun.
One of the first games that I ever really played. You remember on our old Mac, we had that X-Wing Starfighter game. It was intense. Yes. It was actually only the demo, so you got to play like the first level, and that went through that thing
because we were poor.
300 times.
We didn't play the games; we played the demos. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It reminds me.
I used to get those Pizza Hut demos. You go to Pizza Hut and you're like, "Yeah, I'd like a pizza," and you just kept the demo disc. And I remember you gave away the pizza.
So that reminds me of when I lived on the East Coast, Anthony and I lived on the East Coast, and we went to Pizza Hut and you got a baseball bat. I had a Ken Griffey baseball bat from Pizza Hut.
I remember that. I had Mike Piazza. I had a Mike Piazza bat and ball. They're like themed,
but they're like cushion bats.
Yeah.
Did you just say a basketball?
What?
You're pretty sure you said basketball.
Baseball. No,
I know what we're talking about. I started the conversation. But yeah, I never understood why I got a baseball bat with a pizza. Walking out like I'm going to beat somebody up to get their pizza.
Because back in the day, all those places used to give out the cool shit. I remember going to McDonald's, and in our Happy Meal was the little transformer things that came like my fry box turned into like some robot.
I remember when Batman Forever came out, and I got a glass mug that was like rigid and was the characters from the movie. Yep.
They had the specialized mugs. I had the one from Garfield. We had the Batman Begins ones.
Nope,
Batman Forever. Yeah, Batman Forever.
Yeah, they're predicting the future with that cup.
Anyway, no, like whatever happened to like fast food places giving decent toys?
We grew up.
They got cheap.
Dude, I don't care how old I would get. Like, I would be buying my ass a Happy Meal if they.
Welcome to McDonald's. Yes, I'm 35. Okay. Can I get some chicken nuggets, please?
Let me get six.
I will say,
6-piece Happy Meals, please.
I will say I may have been that guy who was like, I need some of those those kids meal toys when they brought back the Pokemon cards. I was I need some
drive. They're like, yeah, can I get a number 6? And also, can I please get some?
When our kids got those, like, what are these? Like,
they're for my children.
Excuse
me,
they're
not in the car, but I promise it's for children.
It's an '84 Honda. How dare you?
But so to go back real fast, since we went on a tangent there. Sorry.
Yeah.
But what I thought you were going to talk about, Anthony, as far as when you were talking about squadrons, is I remember us playing Top Gun, and we had the joystick that suction cup to the table. And
hell yeah! The NES game, Top Gun. Mm-hmm. That game was intense. And I could never land the plane on the carrier.
Yeah, I could never land that plane.
I could never land that damn plane on the carrier.
Yeah.
Got a tub of Vaseline right next to that, and he's like,
Goose wasn't the only one.
Emotional damage.
Something's damaged after that one. I don't know what it was.
But you guys should check it out. It's fun. I think it's a lot of fun. Of course, you got to get used to, since Anthony doesn't play inverted, I don't know how he's going to play the game. But he'll just
it's weird because like even in games today, like I went back and started playing Ace Combat. Ace Combat 7 is probably one of my favorite ones. 6 and 7. And I tried to invert my controls and I was lost. Oh my god! Trying to retrain my brain to reverse the stick order.
Anthony's like, is that the ocean or is that the sky? It doesn't matter. Dude, I crashed.
I messed up a few times. Right into the freaking building. Like Mark, the first time he let me fly in Battlefield.
Yeah, just like
pick up a helicopter. Like, no, I got this.
Fuck!
Right into a cliff wall.
We were doing some missions or something, and like I got us damn near to the end, and Anthony's like, "Let me try to fly," and it like crashes in 5 seconds. I was like,
wall.
"Dear God!" I'm like, "You are not flying. You're not flying." It was so bad.
The plane down, sir.
Drop it.
He did very violently. He basically bailed, and everybody else crashed.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like Kobe Bryant.
This is why you should watch it and read through the tutorials. That's too soon. That's why I tried to talk about stuff over that joke. That's almost a year ago. Why you got to bring it up?
Sorry,
man?
I'm sorry, man. I loved Kobe.
That's too soon. That's for sure.
Mamba forever.
Mamba forever. But I'm curious. I am curious about what they're going to do with those games.
I'm too.
We'll see. I think the Fallen Order one is going to be a decent sequel.
Again, I never finished the first one.
I haven't either.
I am a little worried now that you said it. You know, this whole FPS thing. Are we just going to end up failed Battlefront?
Oh, I knew what I wanted to ask you guys.
I hope not. I had such high hopes for the last one that they released, and they more or less dropped it right off the bat. And then they came back and they put out some patches and this and that, but it's one of those things where it could have been so damn good, and it just failed to meet expectations. Like, they had so much content to put out there for it, like so many guys that they could go to, and they didn't touch on them.
So I know on the last episode, I think you're talking about like, when does Halo do a battle royale style of gameplay?
Right.
What do you? I don't know how soon the next one's going to come out, and I kind of talk about it every episode because I just love the game so much. But do you think Gear 6 brings in a battle royale type of style?
No.
If they could, and it would make sense, would you want them to?
I just had a thought too.
I'm not sure. I don't know. It would,
like, how would they do it? That's the thing that I was curious on.
That's just it. I don't understand.
I feel like
how
Gears
you would
is
even
too
make that
slow
happen.
of a game. Gears is too slow of a game to play in a battle royale style.
Well, I also think it's like,
unless
there is
maybe
a clear,
you make it like a Fortnite style.
But like, how would you do a royale when it's like locusts and whatever versus humans type of thing?
You could do a PvPvE. So it wouldn't have to just be, I mean, you could do it. It would just be different than your typical BR. So there's a few instances out there. I know the cycle has done similar type stuff where you're doing PvE events mixed with PvE events. So it would be something like that, I would say.
I want them to kind of try it and see if it could be successful. And that might make me enjoy battle royales more, because really, like, I don't play Apex. I don't play Fortnite. I haven't played Call of Duty in a year. And I wonder if it could be successful. It wouldn't be the main thing, but I almost feel like it would almost be too late, depending on when the game comes out, for them to try it.
So having discussed what we just discussed with the new Star Wars games, how would you feel about a Star Wars VR?
See, I was thinking about that actually as I was talking about Gears, and I was trying to think of like
probably pull that off. Yeah, you could pull that off. I think
I feel like
much
that
easier
makes
than
more
Gears.
sense, right? And I think that
Even
would
Halo.
be badass.
I think it's because of the locust versus humans part, though, that makes it as the more complicated aspect. And that's what
you can add the PvE elements in there. I mean, it just doesn't flow quite the same as a strictly PvP VR. There's a few titles that have done it. I mean, even Warzone has had their PvE events mixed in with their PvP stuff, and it's okay. I don't think that it's meant to be like a long-term type thing. I just don't know.
Don't ever bring that freaking Krampus bullshit back into the game again.
No,
that was terrible.
No.
Yeah, I watched like Tim the Tatman play and Doc play, and I saw like not a lot of people like it.
No,
still have nightmares about that shit.
I'm just curious. I'm like, I think it would be kind of cool to see them do that, but I don't know how they could do it and it makes sense for the game and that they are, especially for like their weapon type. A lot of the fun of playing Gears is chainsawing somebody, and in battle royale games, you're not trying to get that close to someone. You're trying to, you know what I mean? Like, what if I just thought about this? What if instead of the ring being like gas or just a barrier or whatever, it's more like locusts coming in,
or emulsion.
Yeah, emulsion. Like it's coming in. It's like the same way that a battle royale does, but then it's.
I think you know what they could do. They could
emulsion.
Oh my god! I can't believe what I just heard. My ears hurt.
This guy.
I have you turned almost all the way down.
No, you know what they could. Okay, for Gears, I think the only way you can make that work, the PvPvE, is
so many
you set it in Civil War era.
Okay.
Yeah, you could do that, I guess, and then have it be against other humanoids too.
Yeah,
as well as Locust. Because I feel like that'll help. That could help them bring in more people to want to play Gears more often as far as multiplayer. Because I mean, of course, like you could do the same way that like Call of Duty does, where they jump around timelines and time frames, and like now it's specific and before, and like change up the weapons because of Vanguard coming out and all that stuff. But I feel there's got to be a way they could do it where it would be unique to their game type and style, and it still be the same but different as far as like a battle royale.
I think they've bled the Gears franchise dry at this point. It's, and you know, as much as I love Gears, as much as I love Gears, I don't see another full installment coming out.
They've already talked about how they're making a Gear 6. I don't know what that means.
How much Xbox 360 was the last Xbox they were ever making.
How much did you play Gears 5 though? And not Jeffrey. Don't answer that question.
Oh, okay. It's not fair. It's just skewed stats here.
Gears 5 as far as multiplayer, or Gears 5 as far as single player?
The whole game. Both.
The whole game.
I'd have to look at stats, but it's a decent amount. I mean, not as much as previous titles, but I would say it's close to 100 hours. Probably more than you. Definitely more than you.
Well, that's for sure. I wasn't as pulled into Gears 5 as I think the last major Gears game that I actually really got into, Gears 2.
Yeah, Gears 3 was
the best one. Gears
Judgment
Judgment
was trash. Fucking kick
So
this guy
real,
out.
bro.
Can you kick him out? Kick him out.
Oh, so when somebody was talking about, sorry to go back, when somebody was talking about if Rock was making a Gears movie, they were talking about John Cena playing Baird. They being like all of the
Baird
people
is
I know,
not that big.
but they're talking about like all the actors that would play the characters in that movie would be all wrestlers.
Do you know who I could see being Baird?
Who's that?
Paul Walker. Unfortunately, that's not going to work out.
He would be more like a Carmine, wouldn't he?
No, he's saying Baird because of Carmine because of the death.
I'm just saying. He would make a better Carmine.
That's. I'm disappointed in the fact that I didn't get that joke right away, but that was I'm
a little disappointed too. Thanks, guys.
It took me a sec, but Jesus, that fucking hit. Okay. Wow, we went there. Okay. I mean, I went there earlier, so never mind. Moving on.
Move along. But yeah, I mean, before we cut off this episode, I think it would be fun to see Gears do that as far as a battle royale type. I want to see them do more, make them do different game modes for multiplayer, because I enjoy the campaigns for the single player part. Of course, you play with a couple of people. Anthony and I played Gears 5 together at the start, and he was Jack, and he didn't know what the Jack to do. Okay, he was all over the goddamn place.
You can't let me be. I was like, I need
you to press that button. The button's here. He's over here. Like,
oh yeah,
I had the cloaky stuff
over here. He's doing this whole thing away from where
I was incognito.
Incognito. Like he's not even anywhere near the.
You were in Call of Duty mode and you weren't paying attention. But I want them to see. I want to see them do something different, but still make it fun. Because I still remember like when we would play when I was still closer to you guys, and it was a lot of fun playing Gears. Like I met some people. The first time I met them was on Gears and stuff like that, and like. I want that kind of fun again for those types of games. And I feel like Call of Duty type games and all those styles, it's just angry. Granted, Gears was makes you angry.
Gears got pretty toxic. Gears definitely, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, Ron.
You're good.
No, just to touch on this social thing, I would say Gears absolutely opened up our gaming
relationships.
Socializing, and meeting, different people, and actually had consistent teams to play with. I mean, it was great.
The fact too, like when you look at the people that we met and how they are all different types of people, and it made for gaming to be way more fun. Like I still remember the time where we were playing Gears 3 online and we all started singing to each other while we're kicking ass against the other team. Like as me, you, Anthony, Derek, and I think Lapido.
Probably.
And we were singing Candlebox.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And it was some of the best times. And then, of course, Derek would do his like Independence Day president speech and right before the match. And then we go in there and we lose. So it was a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. We need some more gaming episodes like that. We need to get back to at least getting one. And
that's the type of game I want. Gears, Epic Games to bring back a coalition to bring back with Gears.
Here's where I was going before I was so rudely interrupted by that jackass with the Chiefs hat on.
Jackass with a chia pet on his face.
Yeah. Also, yeah. Captain Caterpillar. I
can't afford this shit.
Wow. Anyway, I would like to see Gears of War do a Gears of War style Halo Wars, like the RTS, not so much the XCOM. Like I liked the XCOM style Gears Tactics, but I would like to see an RTS with Gears of War. I think that would be super fun.
Yeah,
that would be very interesting. I'd be down.
And I think that it'd be like it's a perfect world for it. I think that it would translate perfectly. I think that'd be really cool.
I'm actually kind of surprised. Now that you bring that up, I'm a little surprised they haven't gone that route.
I am too. And that's why
because people be trashing the game the whole time instead of like voicing opinions of what could make it better. There's like, it's trash. Gears is the same. It's trash. That's why.
But we want the same thing.
But then we want the same game from Call of Duty, from Apex to Fortnite to all these games.
We want it different but the same. But when it's not the same, then it's shit. And when it's different, then it's also shit. That's basically what it boils down to.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't please gamers. We know this.
Never can.
No,
But
can't.
it was anyway.
Oh, well, that really got me wanting to play Gears. So I mean, as we're wrapping this up, maybe instead of playing Extraction, Anthony plays Extraction by himself, Mark, while you and I play Gears.
I am not touching the tutorial.
I'm still not playing Gears.
I know it's not going to happen. We can still play Extraction. It's no big deal. Thanks for joining us.
Gears installed.
I'll freeze. Wow. Well,
yeah.
This is what happened last episode. We all tried to give our salutation, and we all kept talking about it, and then it was a 17-minute out.
This is Midwest, like, nice. Like, this is how we say goodbye. Please don't go. But,
30 minutes later.
Hey, one more thing.
All right, guys. This is the G.A.M.R podcast signing off. Check out the little notification below. We got a new code out. Get yourself 10% off some King Coast coffee.
I'm pointing at the code, not anything else on the screen or in my life. Just the code.
Use the code.
All right, guys.
Please use the code.
All right.
Catch you on the next episode.
Later.
Deuces.